Hey guys, this is Ezzune from Pionear, and today I'm bringing you a deck profile and a tournament report of my recent Madolches. Now I have changed this up from my last Madolche deck profile, so it won't be totally boring, so don't press that X button just yet. Okay, first up, triple Madolche, generic searcher, it's great. I'm running 2 Mewfoil, because I think 2 is great, because this thing attracts failures, this thing attracts maxis, and I think 2 is needed to get the plays off properly. Some people only choose 1, but I think 2. Triple Hoot Kick. He's got a massive body under Chateau, and you always want 1 available, especially when you've got that ticket. Now here is a one that I feel a little bit embarrassed about, because in my last video I was swearing 2 Messenger Lato is all you need, and today I tested out 3 and it was excellent. I was able to access my plays much faster. I always had a target, and it just worked out great. I'd advise anyone to try 3 and try 2 if that's your personal preference. For a long time 2 was my personal preference, but 3 it worked so great. I think I'm going to be keeping 3 for a while. Then I was running 2 effect failures instead of Max C, because I think Max C isn't that great anymore, because I was just going against nothing that actually special summoned much more than 1 or 2 cards. I was only ever going like +0 off my Max Cs. So I thought effect failure and they worked great. Double Spell Striker. I'm a big fan of this because it turns just what would be a regular Hoop Kick play into a Tiara Masu play. And then an interesting one, Double Kadka. I tried this out a while ago. I actually took it to the UK Duelist League Finals, and I didn't like it there, but it wasn't a Dragon format, which was much slower, so I brought these back and they worked excellent. Being able to set 4 cards, go Kadka, and then next turn I had Hoop Kick fodder in the grave. It was just brilliant. Okay, moving on to the spells. I'm running the Double Chateau. There's quite a few field spell decks running around right now, so it gets destroyed quite often. A second one is needed. I'm running 2 ticket. Normally I swear by 1, but I went for a bigger engine than I usually do, and it made the deck so much more consistent, because I was drawing into ticket more often than I was searching it. And whatever monster you have, if you have a ticket and it doesn't get destroyed, it means you're going to access your plays that turn, like the following turn. Like, I think one game I just went, play ticket, set a card, and it was obvious it was Madolche monster, but my opponent couldn't do anything. He had to attack into it, and I just ended up searching Madolche, and I was fine. The 1 Book of Moon, because it's great. It makes your Madolche avoid effect failure and get double search. I played 2 Lance, because I think being able to stop your queen being stopped is pretty good. The 1 Dark Hole, 2-part duality, because I like to open with it, but I don't like to top it late in the game. And just 2 MSTs in the main. Moving on to traps. The 1 Madolche Palooza. I don't think more than 1 is needed because it's so damn easy to recycle and so damn easy to search. I played 2 7 tools. A lot of people prefer trap stun, but I really like 7 tools. I'm a big fan, especially with the fact that, like, if my opponent plays a continuous trap such as like Rivalry, which is horrible. If I've got Trap Stun, I'm only protected until the end of that turn, but if I've got 7 tools, it actually destroys the card and ends the chain right there, which is brilliant. Then 2 Fiendish, down from 3 because I'm running the effect failures. 2 Mirror Force, and then the 1-ofs, because this is quite a trap heavy deck. Moving on to the extra. The rank 3s. Fortune Tune, Leviathan, Acid Golem, 2 Invokers, and Engineer. Not gonna lie to you, these 3 I go into a lot. These 3 are very situational. But this deck does have the extra deck space, so you kind of have to run them for when you do need them. But being able to go Engineer, Tiara Masu is ridiculous, because that just means you're going to get Tiara Masu's off twice. Which considering Tiramisu is quite commonly a +4 play, if you get it off twice, that's a +8. And that's bigger than a whole new starting hand. That changes games. And then the rank 4s. We have Diamond Dire, Blackship, Maystroke. I decided to run the Blade Armor Ninja this week since I was running 3 Messenger Gelato. An Abyss Dweller, which puts in work. Gaga Cowboy. And Olivia, which is a rank 3. Whoops. I was wondering why the rank 3s was one shot. And then the 2 Queen, which is supreme over everything. You only need 2. Anyone tells you need 3, they're high. You need 2. And the side. 2 Maxi for those spammy matchups. We all know the ones. 3rd MST, which I sided in every single game. Double Twister, which once again I think I sided in every single game again, because this hits every one of the problem cards in my deck. It hits enemy field spells, it hits Rivalry, it hits Defissure, Macro, it kills everything. Oh, and Skill Drain, of course. So this is great. The 1 Thunder King, primarily in there for Boojins and Prophecy. Soul Drain, kills a lot. DNA Surgery, mainly in there again for Boojins, Prophecy, and Noble Knights. The 1 Singular Gozen, I don't think it's needed in 3s anymore. 2 was hardly ever sided in. So I'm just running the 1. I did actually go up against E-Dragons today, and I'll go over that later. Just the 1 Shadow Imprisoning. Most decks that Shadow Imprisoning hits also get hit by stuff like Soul Drain. So I don't really feel that it was needed to side 2. The 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors. Again, Boojins, Noble Knights. There's a lot of matchups, which just helps. And 2 Mind Crush. Which, again, Boojins, Prophecy, just stuff that the meta... You'll notice that a lot of these are mainly themed for meta calls, and it's just like... There are some rogue decks that completely get around me, but I think the Madolche deck itself holds up quite well. Okay, now I'll be going over my how the tournament actually went. Now, I ended up going 4-1. It was quite a good result. I came 2nd. It was a good day. It's the first time I've tried to play competitively for a while, and I think that's great considering there's 18 people there today. You know, not massive locals. I mean, it still is the Christmas period. A lot of people are with their families and not around. But yeah, it was a good day, and I came 2nd. But my first matchup was against Anti-Meta Stun, and all I can say is Madolches do it better. He put up a good fight. You know, he was running a lot of Fossil Diners, like maining Banisher of the Radiance. It was very powerful and very stunny, but the advantage I was building off him was ridiculous, and he could not keep up whatsoever. Madolches were great. And he just couldn't side in, like he was siding in stuff like Rivalries and Macro, and it just didn't even matter. I always had the Twister or an MST. That's why I run 3 MST and 2 Twisters. It was just brilliant. Okay, my next matchup was against Dragon Rulers in a revived form. It was a pushover. Like, he was doing a lot of stuff, but it all come down to him just making some power plays, and then he couldn't defend himself against Tiramisu. So he could get out a Draco Sack, a Big Eye, wherever he wanted, and I always had an answer. I was always able to just shuffle it back into the deck, and there was no issue. Dragon Rulers were not a problem. Plus, a lot of the side deck cards are like generic. Like, I didn't side them for Dragon Rulers, but it just happens to hurt. Like, there's Mind Crush, there's Gozen, there's Soul Drain, there's Thunder King, there's all these babies, and then there's Maxis. I didn't even like intentionally side for Dragon Rulers, and I found myself with a card pool of 9 cards, which hurt the deck a lot. I ended up not taking the Mind Crushes because all he was really searching out was Blue Eyes with his Whitestone Legends, and there's no point. I'm just fueling his grave. Okay, my next matchup was against Prophecy, which was Nick, also from Team Pioneer, and I basically went into game 1 with the attitude of he went first, he won the dice roll. His 6 apparently beats my 5, but he opened incredibly well. He opened the full setup, and my logic was that I knew I wasn't able to gain advantage back. I knew that going in. So I was just trying my best to try and orientate that OTK as soon as I could, and I eventually got it off thanks to drawing 2 Forbidden Lance. And about turn 7 or 8, I'd say, I managed to just get back, do that OTK. I put about 8 to 9k on the board, and there was nothing you could do. And I think it was one of the better matches of the day. Going into game 2, I think it just come down to the fact that he just didn't see any of his sides while I was seeing quite a few of mine, and I just managed to outpace him. So 2-0'd him straight up. He was quite sad after that. Okay. Next I went up against Evil Swarm. That's usually a good matchup for us. I mean, she doesn't care. She does not care. But I ended up losing it, sadly. He top decked Dagon Dragon in time, and that was just too much for me. He went on to come first in the tournament, so it was okay. His win pushed me up to second, but it was a hard match. And next I went up against Dark Worlds, and I got deck dev'd in game 1, which was horrible. But in game 2 and 3, he just could not handle Tiramisu. We had a bit of a field spell war going on, but I was always able to either have the Twister or MST, or be able to play my Chateau over almost straight away over his gates. Because that's the great thing about Madolche, you can recycle that. You don't have a limited number of field spells like Dark Worlds do, for example. So yeah, overall, great day. I came second. I'm very happy. And I think this Madolche deck performed great, and any changes I'd make, I can't think of any changes right now. It just performed so well. I think I may revise the side, but that's pretty much it. Like, there might be 1 or 2 little changes. I might just take out the Gozen because I don't see it being that useful, but I'm not sure. Okay, well, this is Ezzune from Pioneer. Thank you very much, and catch you guys later.